stream's back. Wait, is it back up?
Might be. I think I'm back up again.
Uh, stream's just turned into a video.
Yeah, one of my streams turned into a video, but I think there's another stream automatically created, I
Oh,
think.
okay. Yeah.
Is
So,
it live? Yeah, it seems to be
it's
live.
live for me. I think it's live for me.
Uh, yeah, that kind of sucks, but I think I'm back live again.
Yeah.
Oh, my bitrate is crazy. My bitrate is wild.
Is the Wi-Fi in the hostel that bad?
Okay, this is something I want to rant about. You know what? Singapore's Wi-Fi is better than Malaysia. I get it. Better infrastructure, smaller country, you know, better technology, more money, economic power, whatever. Servers in Singapore, fine, I get it. But the problem is, why is the one place where I find bad Wi-Fi in my school? What the heck?
I mean, most schools have like really bad Wi-Fi. I'm not gonna lie.
True, but I went to a different university in Singapore, and their Wi-Fi was like the best I've ever had. I got like zero pings when I played Dota or something like that. I think it was so smooth. But only in my hostel, Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of schools in Singapore actually have bad Wi-Fi. For most of the
True.
time, my school had bad Wi-Fi. I know for a fact Nanyang Girls has really bad Wi-Fi.
I'm in a big university though,
Fair, fair.
a really big university, and it's so bad that I've lost connection playing in tournaments from my university before, while playing on campus. That's why I
Oh,
have to.
that sounds like an actual problem though.
It's actually pretty unstable. Wi-Fi is pretty bad, and like classes, like you know how online sem, right? Because of the COVID and everything, a lot of
Yeah.
classes are held online. Then a lot of lectures I can't really attend them as if they're live as well because the Wi-Fi is just that bad. But yeah, it's just life. But anyway, this is only while I'm still quarantining. In the future, after I'm out, I'm free. I won't be streaming from my hostel because of Wi-Fi issues. As you can see here, I'll probably go to some lab or some faculty or somewhere to stream instead. So there'll be better Wi-Fi there. Yeah, you might be able to see a bit of how what my school looks like. So that's a bit of a teaser for the future. But now let's get back into the position. As I was talking about this h6 move, yes, it does stop the h6 from white, which is nice, but it does increase the potency of this
Yeah.
light square bishop over here. As you can see, the arrows that Mary has drawn, there are two ways to go about it. You can either put the queen behind the bishop or the bishop behind the queen. Either way, you create a strong battery on the light squares. And you can also go about it in a more direct way. You can play something like queen g4 instead, and then follow it up with something like maybe either queen g6 or knight g6 or bishop g6. Either way, you're getting something on planting something on the g6, and the king is never getting out of there, and you'll be able to squeeze the position and prevent any reinforcements from coming in. Because you can notice that all of these pieces are kind of awkwardly isolated from the entire defense, right? So if you can get your pieces in, do something like queen g4, knight f3, get all your pieces in. Whoa, this is gonna be party time. And yeah, with that, let's see if white manages to take advantage of this light square weakness and the weak king on black's camp. So we see rook h3 over here.
H3 is an interesting move.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would have thought at least like rook h4 to go here.
Let's see why that wasn't played. I guess maybe it's something of being worried about the bishop being overworked, maybe. Like because after rook is played, you can take care of the bishop, then you have to take care of the pawn, then the bishop is kind of stuck here. kind of deal,
But there's still
maybe.
all this.
Yeah, there's still everything. There's still everything. White is definitely still for choice. Um, but maybe White was thinking that, oh, I can't take back the bishop, so it's probably not good or something like that.
Fair.
Which also means that actually White is expecting this knight to be taken at some point.
Or maybe White wanted to play this and like click the wrong piece.
True, could be that as well. But decides to start with rook h3 first. So probably
Okay.
expecting some queen move soon, and followed by queenside castles, I guess. And queenside castling actually in this type of position would be quite safe, I think, because despite all of the pieces here from
There's
Black's
no
camp,
time, I think, for Black to attack.
yeah, although everything is on the queen side, or the pieces on the queen side, the structure and the awkwardness of the coordination between the pieces, don't really help things out. Is my chat not working?
It's working for me, I think.
Oh, it didn't really work properly for me. Yeah, but Lex says, hello guy in Twitch. And
So
Vola
you're
says,
referring to
hi
who?
lag. Vola here. Alright, yeah, now my chat is working. Okay, nice. So, yeah, so I guess that's why Poppy decided to go with Rook H3 instead of Rook H4. See C5 over here, trying to gather some counterplay. I think it's a nice attempt. Trying to break up the pawn chain and let all the pieces flow in. Again, at some point, I'm expecting after this is maybe disrupted a little bit, I am expecting bishop takes as well, because this bishop over here is really preventing this pawn from
Yeah.
allowing the rook from joining into the defense over here.
So you want
Um,
you maybe you can reroute this bishop here.
true.
It looks dumb, but I've done it.
In a closed position, sure, but in this case, only one side is closed.
Yeah, no, but like if you need something to defend this attack, right?
Yeah,
You
and
need this bishop to cover up your light square, so bring it back.
I think something that's very interesting is that although okay, we ignore this h5 pawn, right? If we ignore this h5 pawn, all the pawns are still on their own side of the board, right? So space wise, it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. And black is even down a piece, so black has one less piece occupying space
Yeah.
occupying piece. But for some reason, when you look at black, black looks so cramped, whereas white has all the space directed towards the black king. So that is positioning and positional
I think
play.
the pawns work with the position.
Yes, there's
We
harmony.
we have all these open lines.
Yeah.
But here, even though there's like the same, okay, like there's one more pawn, but even they all get in the way of their pieces.
Yeah, exactly. So peace harmony. This is after you have mastered the material, after you have mastered the tempo, you have to master the peace harmony and the positional play as well. So you can see that not
Right.
all
I think
pieces
here
are equal.
Dakyun is trying to use the gambit first.
Yeah, master the gambit. So you see here, knight g6 was played. White decided to plant a knight there, and not a bad choice. The rook doesn't really have that many places to go to. We see f6 chosen by Dakyut, and let's see how we follow things up. Actually, there is a hanging bishop over here, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was taken.
Okay.
So following that, we see bishop c4 trying to
Another
get the
hanging piece.
bishop into the game. Yes, understandably, we can see that maybe this is the maneuver that Dakyun is going for, but unfortunately, it hangs to the knight which has been here since game move what some early move 5, and now after who knows how many moves or move 18, knight takes c4, and now the knight is also getting ready to jump into the fray with something like rook
Oh
knight
boy.
e5, and all the pieces are just corralling around the black king, and black's pieces are nowhere in sight besides this lonely
And they're
rook
all
over here
dead.
on f6. Yeah, so let's see what
Black's piece is all
happens.
dead.
hmm c takes
C5,
d4,
C3,
trying to
C6.
create some space and create some files, but it's a bit too little too late at this point, probably. Knight
Like
a6.
knight a6 just is not a good move in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I think you have to go for knight c6 at this point.
Yeah, and just like shut up and take it.
Yeah, you have to trade pieces because
And like
the thing
okay,
is,
say
right?
okay, like
Yeah, because if you play knight a6, it's like you're down a piece. You just wasted a move and you did nothing. It's
and
too
also like
slow.
everything is coming here, right? Like all the pieces are rushing here to attack. And then you bring your knight further away.
Yeah, and the one of the reasons why I don't like this, right? Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's fine, it's a nice maneuver. The problem is even after you play knight a6 to avoid the trade, no matter where you go, you are being dominated by this dark square bishop over here. No matter where you go, the dark square bishop can always trade it off. So if white really wants to trade it off, you can't do anything about it. So if it can be traded no matter what, at least go a route that enables your pieces to enter the position faster, right? Then if
And also
white
you
doesn't
prevent
trade,
like
then at least you get something back.
yeah. And also you prevent this just you know.
Yeah, it's a
You
fork.
can argue that you don't want to take, but I think taking is pretty good.
Yeah, taking is pretty good. um, so let's see what's going on. So after knight a6, instead of forking, we get queen to d2. Curious move. I was thinking the light squares were much more accessible on the king side, so I was thinking maybe just something like queen g4 would be good enough. Queen g4 would be very, very
Queen
strong.
g4 first. Yeah, it also works. I mean this knight is just so bad.
Yeah, but
You
with
can afford to just play queen g4 first.
I no I think it's not even just a 4-2. I think queen g4 is also is good in itself. Um, at least in compared with with queen e2, right? Because queen e2, where are you
Yeah, queen e2
going?
just eh.
You're not going anywhere. Like the only available squares if you want to get closer to the king are like here and here. So it doesn't really increase the scope of your
Hmm.
queen. So just because the queen is closer to the center doesn't mean it's more centralized if it has less accessibility to the position.
Okay, anyways. Knight b4.
Okay, the knight is getting in,
Mm.
trying to come in through d5 here. We see rook c1,
See
now playing on both sides of the board, trying to also cut off black's defenses from that side as well. We
e5.
see e5.
Okay.
e5, I guess he
Okay, maybe
just gives up a pawn.
yeah, but I mean black has no moves.
No,
So
I think the idea is this. After bishop takes, maybe something like e. Does it work? E5.
no. Take.
You can take with pawn, right?
Um
I mean, even here,
taking
right? You
pawn.
still win back a piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, down a lot of
Does it work?
material.
Does it work? Oh no, okay. Wait, let's look at this first.
Get the fork in. You lose a rook, take back a piece. So you lose an exchange, and then you win back a piece. So you exchange two pieces for a rook.
No, but I think like rook f3.
Ah, ouch. Yeah,
And either you give up the queen or you get mated. So
yeah. True. So it doesn't work. So even winning back a little bit of material back is not good enough. So indeed, here you see rook e6 instead. So there is a nice threat over here. If the bishop ever moves, you'll be able to capture the light square bishop at the back. See knight d6, getting more pieces in, reaching the tentacles into the position while also defending the light square bishop. So as long as the bishop maintains on this diagonal, of course, to defend the knight. And we see a4 here. Yeah, knight is hanging, and it doesn't really do anything because everything is on the king side. So a
doesn't even
move like
take
a4,
actually. Rook c8.
Yeah, this is force mate. A very nice find actually from white to recognize the skewer over here, especially when all the focus is on the king side. Finding this blow from the queen side is a really nice awareness. Are you playing? No, I'm not playing. We're actually looking at some games that were played a few months before in the London chess tournament, and we've been doing this for a few months now. We are reviewing games every Saturday, and now we're at the elimination stage. So this is round of 20. And at this point, Dakyun resigns here in the fact that there's nothing left to be done. There's too much material advantage here. What Black is going to lose their queen
I
and
mean, it's
probably
mate
going to
in
get mated
five. I
soon.
don't think either side sees that.
I mean, mate in five is basically just take, sack, take, move, and mate, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that with that, Poppy's manages to take the lead, and we are going to go into the second game here, where Dakyun actually fights back. You can see that Dakyun actually won this game. Very nice showing. Let's see how things
This
turn
was a
out.
weird opening.
Okay, let's take a look. We see G3
G3,
Hungarian opening.
knight
Maybe
C3, a
like
bit weird.
yeah, a bit unusual. Um, Normally when you
Normally you
see
go.
G3, you go
Normally
bishop
you go like
G2.
here.
Yeah, sort of like a king's Indian attack kind of style. But knight c3 is not a bad move. It's fine. You see knight c3, d6, both sides playing very passive, not even stepping onto the fourth and fifth ranks over here. Bishop g2, following the plan. G6.
G6.
So we see a very, very extremely passive hyper-modern approach from both sides, which doesn't really make sense because the modern approach to chess is to counter-attack the center, but there's no center to counter-attack, so both sides are like pointing guns at nothing. It's like a
Yeah,
Mexican
so
standoff
I guess
with
both sides want to play like something like this.
yeah. Imagine right, this is what the situation is. Imagine a Mexican standoff between two people, and they are
Both
holding
people like
guns.
this.
Yeah, no, they're holding guns to the sides. Like you know how when there's a Mexican standoff, is like there's three people, right? And they're like holding the guns, is like facing each other, and like there's a cowboy music. This is the same thing, but they are facing directly against each other, and they're pointing guns towards like blank air. That's what's happening right now. It can be very potent, it can be very dangerous, it can be very spicy and exciting. But in this case, there's nothing to counterattack, so very non-confrontational, and it's like just shooting blanks. So here we see b3. You can see there's some sort of a hippo kind of system from Dakyun, playing b3 and fianchettoing the other bishop as well. Bishop g7, fianchettoing the dark square bishop, bishop b2. Now the two dark square bishops are opposing each other. Castles
Also,
and
H4.
h4.
Okay, I like H4.
We
Engine doesn't
can.
like it, but I like it.
It's a thematic move against these types of fianchetto structures
Yeah.
from black, especially
Also,
at this level. I think
yeah.
it's definitely very strong. Yeah,
Okay, now we get shots in.
yeah, shark's fin. So we can
Also, I think
see
just F3, G4.
well, just h5 sack the exchange.
Not yet. Maybe after you open the queen show.
Yeah, true.
But normally, in those cases, it's nicer to have a bishop on E3 instead of G2.
True, true. Because the whole point of playing h5 to sack the exchange is that so that you can rip apart this g pawn, and then now your bishop will be stronger here on this
So that's a
diagonal.
future idea, I guess, but not yet. Your
Yeah,
pieces aren't ready to tap.
yeah. So maybe something like maybe e4 can prepare it,
Yeah,
but
E4.
I
E4, maybe
prefer
even D4.
e4 d4. Yeah, playing principled moves.
Yeah, soon
Um,
enough you'll have an attack.
I mean they're good enough. They're good for a reason. Yeah. So you see knight h5 here is preventing
Oh
h5
no.
and kind of preemptively preparing f5, I guess. We see e3 over here now, opening up this diagonal for the queen. Knight f6 going back, maybe recognizing that it isn't required yet. Knight e4, going for a trade of
Oh,
knights. Perhaps saying that, you know what, I'm going to give away my piece on the queen side in order to
I
take
think
away one
White
of
just
the
missed this.
yeah. You know, the idea is to maybe trade off a useless, quote unquote useless piece on the queen side for a strong defending piece on the king side and go for some sort of attack, and maybe h5 will become
Yeah.
very strong. Problem is there is a tactical resource here.
Actually, actually, you only really lose a pawn, right?
You lose a pawn and castling rights, and now f5
Yeah.
is super strong.
Okay, but you don't really want castling rights anyway. And I guess
Um,
you just play for h5 and pray.
I guess, yeah. Let's say you just go h5. As black, I would even be happy to trade. I mean, my king is already on g7. I can go rook g8 at any time. I'm just going to play some developing move like knight d7 or knight c6 even.
Mm.
You can even take. I don't care. Go ahead and
No, no,
take.
I don't think you want to. You can allow takes, but you don't take.
Yeah.
If you take, you die.
So instead of knight takes e4 to win a piece, instead we see bishop to g4 instead. So going after this queen,
Bishop
but
check.
yeah, blundering the reverse tactic instead this time with knight takes f6. Nice find from Dakyun, removing the defender with check, danger levels. Bishop takes f6, queen takes g4, and now white is the one who is up a piece instead of black.
No, no, but there's still this, but white.
There's
This is
still
the previous
this,
position, but with none of the problems. So white. And now
yeah.
h5 is like big.
After rook b1, bishop g7, and now,
You can win the rook.
yeah, you can win the
Exchange,
rook.
sorry. No, not just a clean rook. Yeah. Oh, a piece.
A rook and a pawn for a piece. So bishop e7 here is the best move to gain a large advantage of material, but it wasn't found from Dakyun. Instead,
No,
plays
h5 is
still a nice
false.
move. Yeah, it's still a nice move. h5, very thematic, trying to disrupt this kind of a triangle fianchetto structure over here. And the castle king aligning the queen with everything, very potent. We see f5 over here trying to counter attack and gain a tempo by attacking the queen. Queen c4 check, nice, very nice find.
And
Um,
now king h8 is false, right? Basically. I mean, there's rook f7.
d5 was played here,
Oh no, but
which,
then bishop, just
yeah,
bishop
bishop
takes.
takes d5, which was found. Good job. So
Nice.
you have to play king h8 anyway.
King h8, and then after takes h6, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah, h6
now
was
this is
played.
coming. Whoa! And now
Actually,
this
maybe
attack
you
is very
can sack.
strong.
Not yet, but I think at some point you can sack.
You have to sack the rook for the pawn.
At some point, I think you can. If you can manage to push this pawn through.
If you're talking about pushing a pawn, I think that's a bit too far. But if you're talking about maybe if when these two pieces are off the back rank and you can swing another rook to pin the bishop and then only push, then I think it's
Actually, what
doable.
if we take and swing the queen over?
It's not enough yet.
Oh no,
You're
it's
also losing a
cheaper, right?
bishop. You're also losing a bishop.
Yeah, because that's the king.
Yeah,
Yeah, so not yet.
not yet actually, but this is definitely very very strong. And once again, you can still win the pawn and the rook behind it.
Okay, you're not losing a bishop though, because if let's say like in that line, right? If we sack here, swing the queen over. If you take, you get a
Yeah, yeah,
bishop.
you get mate in two.
So not losing a bishop, but
But
not
it is an important factor because after you sack and then you take and then you play something like queen h4, right? Then after king g7, this hanging bishop is still an issue because you don't have time to do anything else. You don't have
I
time to
mean we
bring
can.
another thing in.
Yeah. Mm.
Like that's why if the rook was here, like if you have time to bring in the rook, then I can see it being enough initiative. Like if these two pieces spawn on the back line, then I can
Okay,
justify sacking.
engine says white is still completely winning after like just taking.
Because you still win back, you still get a
Yeah,
rook, right? Get
you
exchange
still
back.
get your material back. But
Yeah, and it's not really comfortable at all because you are forced to play knight here, and then it's still great. Oh wait, what is that sounds? Is that
no,
your?
yeah, that's my speaker. Hang on.
Okay, I was worried about more disconnection issues.
Okay. But yeah, bishop takes b7 first is more principled.
Yeah, but instead, we see f4. I guess pushing the pawn and stopping any counterplay from black before developing white's own knight, I guess.
Yeah.
We see queen d7, and now this is getting even stronger now.
And knight f3. Okay, but yeah, knight f3 just sticks with the plan. And
Yeah,
I guess you
knight
can
f3
say that
is
you
the
want to break
plan.
knight here because of the pin.
Mm-hmm. And actually, even I would even be happy to bring it here, attack the queen. The thing is, if you trade, then I can take the pawn first.
Eh. Yeah, okay. Let's just check.
Yeah. Anyway, here knight c6 is played, so blocking, obstructing the bishop from winning the rook. And
Bishop e6. Okay, makes sense.
attacking the queen.
Yeah, the queen's running out of squares.
Taken, taken, not taken here actually. Taken, taken, taken.
And now you are threatening to go do something like this.
Yeah, that definitely looks very spicy indeed.
So we got queen d6 as well. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is why I wanted to look at this game. Because just like this was not how to attack. Because now after f5 you can't even swing your queen over actually.
Yeah. And without the swinging queen, there is not enough initiative. It's just a one move
Like it
attack.
looks nice, but at the same time you realize you need at least 2 moves to bring anything over to attack. Like
Yeah, and you can't really access the dark squares because the bishop can just step back and everything is controlling the dark square. So
yeah.
there isn't really anything to worry about on that front.
So in this case you need to listen to like the Gotham chess saying, what's that? Have 2 more attackers than defenders.
I mean, there are plenty of attackers. It's just that they aren't. They're all attacking the same thing. So when you're attacking all the same thing, the opponent can just hide on the opposite thing, right? Like in this case, you're attacking light squares. The opponent can just hide the dark squares. And you try to force your way through without proper material. I think if like this move was prepared with something like maybe king e2, and you play
Yeah, king
this,
e2 and yeah, like
then now you sack. At least it's not that terrible. Now you at
yeah,
least you
rook
have rook h1.
h1,
Once you have rook h1, then it's not that bad
king
anymore
g7,
because you're forced up,
king
and then
c3,
you get the dark squares in, and then you are very very strong now.
king g6, king g6. What do we do?
Knight h4 says engine.
Knight h4,
You're forced
king
back.
h7, and okay, the bishop falls.
This bishop is also hanging, but this comes with check and picks up the queen if you take the bishop. So like, let's say if you take the bishop here, then
It's
wait,
mate in
wait, wait,
one.
it's mate in one. Sorry, it's mate in one because the bishop is pinned. But I was just thinking that even if it's not mate in one, and you will still pick up the queen.
True. But actually, in that case, no. In that case, it's bad. Honestly, like let's say this, right? Like let's say this. A knight and 2 rooks for a queen is pretty bad.
You have 3 pawns in this case, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but like
Exposed king, and extra and the queen. In this case, the thing is the key is peace harmony. Black doesn't really have peace harmony, so in this exact
but
case, white is still better. But
but if white doesn't play right, I mean black just probably wins.
yeah, the advantage will slip away. It depends on how white um, keeps the king isolated and picks off the pieces one by one, I guess.
Mm.
Anyhow, this was all not played. Instead,
Bishop
the sacrifice
h6.
was a bit preemptive, and after this bishop move, we see queen to c3 check, trying to go for the same idea, but unfortunately here,
Ooh, I mean it's fine,
it's a move. You enable
but
this
I just
though.
don't see the logic in like pinning yourself.
Yeah, Instead, bishop g7 just blocking and attacking at the same time is much
Yeah, because
stronger.
you realize there's no like rook.
Yeah, and then you have just forced to go back. So this will be much stronger, but this is not so great because you can free your bishop from getting under attack, and then you'll be able to keep this pawn, and this pawn will be a very important attacking force. Gives you enough time to play
Yeah.
king e2 and bring a rook
And also
over.
you just pin yourself. In general, that's not nice.
Most times, yeah. So here you see king f2 trying to get this rook into the game. However, now this bishop is hanging. So we see
So
queen
just
takes
take the
e6, rook h1,
rook.
king to g8
Hanging the
is
bishop
hanging the
bad.
bishop. Yeah, maybe a different move would be running to g7 instead. At least
Yeah,
that way you
G7 is
are.
bad.
Yeah, keep an eye on the bishop. Although I do get what black is coming from. Maybe black is worried that you know
Yeah,
what,
getting
if you
out the
come here,
pin.
I can't get out the pin, and I'm never going to be able to move my bishop anyway because, like you see, my bishop can't do anything. Well,
Yeah.
it's a shield. It's a glorified pawn now, and
Pawn's
glorified
better than
pawns
nothing.
are bad bishops, but it's a good protection. That protection is what you need right now. King safety, not a great bishop. So, yep, King g8 gave back the bishop, which of course Dakyun happily recaptures with the rook. King to g7 now, but it's a bit too little too late. Here we see knight e5.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just cleanly hanging the rook.
Cleanly hanging the rook. Yes, cleanly hanging the rook and giving an opportunity for black to actually even trade pieces afterwards. So we
Trade
see knight
pieces
takes
first.
e5 first. I don't think that's a way to go because you can take back
No,
the
it's
pawn.
fine. Yeah, take back pawn.
There's some initiative there.
In the end, you're still up a rook, but yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, it's not that great. It's not so accurate. But anyway, knight takes e5 was played. F takes e5, good recognition to take the pawn. Then at least, if you take my rook, I take your rook. You take my rook, I take your rook. Then
Takes,
at least
takes.
it's not
Queen takes
that
pawn.
much. Yeah, not that much non-material.
Pawn takes.
So e takes f6, taking the pawn now, and now there's some double
Yeah.
pawns over here.
Queen
So
b4, I guess, like, trying to go here.
yeah, maybe still trying to cling on to some sort of attack. But this pawn is no longer guarded, and that means that things can fall
Mm,
very soon. Queen
okay,
h4 check as
so
planned. Queen king takes
queen
g6,
g6. Ooh,
e4. Now hanging
e4.
this pawn though, hanging this pawn and now allowing black to undouble their pawns as well.
And hanging a lot of things, actually.
Yeah, but black doesn't capture any of them. Instead,
Queen
plays queen
d7.
d7, wanting to capture with the queen instead of the rook for some reason, which allows d3 a consolidation move. However, actually in this position, you can even just capture with the pawn, and you have to be
Yeah.
careful not to recapture back the pawn because that still allows access and infiltration into the
Mm.
second rank.
And actually, even if you take back the queen, the queens come off.
Yeah.
And then down a rook, you're not winning this.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's like queen h7 was played trying to
So,
trade queens that way instead. But here we see
e5.
e takes f5 check, very nice. Playing a
Of
nice in
course, you can't
between
take.
move. You can't take the pawn because you lose your queen. Nice
King
try. King
g7.
g7. You see
King
queen
g4.
g4 check, trying to keep the checks coming. King f7 running away. Queen to c4 check, still trying to get perpetual somewhere. King back to g7.
Ooh.
Now queen takes c7 check and winning the rook. Very nice find from Dakyun over here. King g8 trying to get out of the way and now capture with check coming
Takes
up
check.
and now we can even trade queens. Whoa, Dakyun does indeed do that. With 3 pawns up, there is pretty much no chance, especially when the kings are close to the pawns. The kings are on the same side. There
Yeah.
really is no counterplay here.
I mean, if
So
you can't survive a 4-on-2.
yeah, and the pawns keep rolling down the board. Dakyun isn't even pushing them as fast as possible. He's just creating an impenetrable fortress over here, not allowing the king to even get close to anything over here. Like all of these squares are all
Yeah, this is
controlled by
actually
white.
very nice.
Yeah, very nice pattern recognition.
Okay.
But as soon as we say that, just
Well,
had to play c5 check. Just had to play c5 check and
king d5. Okay, like you can still hang on to the pawns.
yeah, everything is still in control, but you sort of allow the king to get in.
No,
Not
but
that it
I
really
don't think the king has
changes.
time.
Yeah,
Because it's
there's
just
no
like
time.
e5.
It's still completely winning, but it's just kind of funny of how
Yeah.
that beautiful connect four was made, and that's why
Horizontal connect four.
yeah, that's why Eric Rosen says you win connect four, you win connect eight. Like connected pawns are strong. It's not just a meme. It's not just a meme. It is strong. When they're connected diagonally, they all defend each other, and therefore it's a strong chain. And when they've struck a lot of pieces and a lot of diagonals and a lot of files, and when they are together, horizontally, they're very strong because they control the most amount of squares possible. And if it's vertical, then it's just bad, I guess. But yeah, because they're all obstructing each other. So here we see a nice, cool, calm, collected endgame. B5, King D5 trying to come back because if you try to go after the other pawn, you can even go something like C6, and then you are not stopping this
Yeah,
pawn from pushing. If you take, I take back, and then I'm just promoting. So that's why the king has to step back and guard the C6 square. A5, actually very nice endgame from Dakyun. I know we were talking about
except for the
the
whole like
fortress.
C5 thing.
Yeah, C5 check. It's still completely winning. All in all, it's a very nice conversion. We see A6 over here, which is a mistake,
C6.
kind
Ooh,
of.
C6. Nice.
Yeah, A6, C6. Guess someone has been doing their endgame practices. Very nice. You want to maintain tension so that no matter what takes, something will open up and you'll be able to push forward and promote. So let's just talk about it a little bit. B takes C6 was played in the game, but let's say you do something else, right? If you take here, then of course you can take and then you can promote.
Yeah.
And if you push, you can just push and you promote. If you take here, no, you already covered that, and there's nothing really else besides b takes c6. And very important, you don't really want to take here. What you want to do is either push b6 or you want to take here instead. Actually, even taking here is still completely winning because you have two extra pawns. But
Yeah,
as a
but
general
this is just
rule,
like unstoppable
yeah, that's the
because you
reason
realize
why you
the
play
pawn
c6.
gets in the way of the.
Exactly. Play c6 to contest, attack the root of the pawn chain, and after captures, you can even push because this pawn actually obstructs the king from getting in, or you capture here and just create a pass pawn as far away from the king as
This is some
possible.
puzzle rush stuff.
Yeah, it's
I
endgame
like it.
tactics. Good job.
A7, C takes, King D3,
Create
King
a new
E5
queen.
promotes, King F5, King G4. You just win all the pawns. And
Okay, nice
ooh,
technique. Nice,
okay,
classy.
nice.
Good job to Dakyun. Nice and nice finish there. Do you want to look at the other three games, or do you want to just go to the next
Maybe we can
match?
jump to like Armageddon.
Okay, let's jump to Armageddon. So basically, long story short, everyone won with white. White is too OP with please nerf, thank you. So this is the Armageddon game. Takeo has the black pieces and 4 minutes and draw odds. Whereas white has an extra minute on the clock with 5 minutes, but has to win this game.
Hmm.
So let's see, as we already know that Dakyun progressed to the next stage, which is a bit of a spoiler over there, but let's just see how it proceeds. So you see, I presume it's just going to be another London
Bishop
against a reverse shark
F4.
spin.
Is it
Yep, it's just London
the
against a
same?
reverse shark spin. Yeah, we see this.
Ooh,
Improvement. We see improvement. So this time, contesting with knight to d5, we see a stronger move here, knight to h5. Very nice. Very nice positional move. So what knight to h5 does is it essentially get rid of the bishop pair and eliminates this dark square bishop, which can hamper um, black's development in some
okay.
cases. So here in this case,
You can
perhaps,
just take.
yeah, no matter
I
whether you
thought
leave it
I
or if you move it back, black is happy to capture. But objectively, the
yeah.
better way would probably be to try and hang on to the bishop as long as possible by playing
Yeah, if you
something.
do this and like
And bishop g5 is probably a better move here. Force
people argue
h6
that
and then you go back and then you can keep your bishop. And if black really
yeah,
wants to play g5 to weaken the position, then okay, fine, you want to take, then you can go ahead and take.
yeah lah, but in this case black probably goes this way.
Interesting move. Engine doesn't even want to retreat the bishop. Knight g1.
Eh?
Knight g1. Opening up an attack on the knight over here. If you want to open up, I'm opening up on my terms. And now
Yeah,
you're
open
in
up
big
by
danger.
undeveloping your knight. I mean,
Yeah, that's
that's really
something else. So I
when I do it,
guess
I when I do it, I absolutely hate myself. But okay, I guess engine is allowed to do it.
educational moment though, this might be a pattern that you want to recognize in the future. Maybe there is a case like this, and you might want to play knight g1 to attack the knight on h5. Who knows?
Maybe we can play this
Yeah, you can even play that and
and
try
sack
to
the queen.
get a mate. Yeah. Oh no, my queen. So I
None
know
of
we like
this.
to talk about dirty engine moves, but seriously, we can still learn from things that we can learn, things that we recognize, recognize these patterns, and maybe you might get accused of being a cheater in the tournament, which is the highest form of honor as a chess player, unless you are really cheating. Then it's
Yeah, but
opposite.
I wouldn't recommend doing this knight g1, knight d1 kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's
I do
definitely not
not
something
recommend.
you do every game. It's just a pattern that you can recognize at some point.
Yeah, like once in a while, not
Yeah.
here.
Anyway, if you don't know what to do, you can always play principal moves and they will get you along fine unless you fall into some weird trap. But bishop to
Bishop
g3,
g3.
so autopiloting here, and
Oh my
actually
god, g6.
knight takes g3 should be normal here. But
Yeah,
instead we
I
see
do see why like it
g6.
wasn't played though.
Why?
H takes, this whole open file thing.
Yes, but that's the whole point of playing knight h5 in the first place. You're
Yeah,
saying
but
that
like
you don't mind the semi-open h4 because you want the bishop pair. That's what you are saying by playing knight h5.
yeah, but still maybe it's just delay knight h5. Knight takes. Nope, knight just does not take.
g6 instead was played. Bishop to c4. Also, I
Um,
guess it's decent.
it's okay, but in your London positions, you kind of want to put your bishop here.
Yeah, I mean I understand this a bit more because it doesn't feel great putting your bishop on d3 when you're facing against the
Yeah,
fianchetto structure. It doesn't feel great, for sure. But in that case, I think a nice alternative is often bishop to e2 instead. But bishop c5 is also nice. This square can become weak if black delays castling long enough. But I find that oftentimes if black manages to castle, then bishop to c5 is just as useless as bishop to d3. At least bishop to
yeah.
d3, if you manage to break open with some h4, h5, it can become useful in the future.
Okay, e6. Yeah, e6 is nice.
Okay, now the bishop is completely dead. Uh, see
Now we get
castles.
castles. Don't love that. Now definitely you can just take because there's really no fear.
Yeah, and you see bishop to e7, very interesting. We see we see e6 bishop e7 instead of bishop to g7 instead. Instead of Fianchettoing, going for this e7 move. It's a bit interesting, but I guess it's because of this pawn chain over here. But I would really prefer it to go to g7 instead. It would be, especially after you have traded bishops, right? After capturing, and playing bishop to g7, although there is this pawn chain in the center which is obstructing the bishop, as we have seen earlier, this chain isn't facing the bishop. This chain is facing away from the bishop, which means that it is susceptible to pawn breaks like c5 or e5 at sometime in the future, and this bishop will become the strongest piece on the board. So that's why I prefer bishop to g7 instead. But bishop to e7 is also understandable. It says that instead of playing e5, maybe I'm playing d5, c5 instead. A different approach, I guess.
Yeah. Um.
Bishop to e5,
Okay. I guess baiting f6, right?
you can just castle.
You can. Oh, and they did castle.
Yeah.
Nice.
So interesting thing to note: if your king is under attack, if any of the pieces in the middle get attacked, you can't castle. But if only your rook is under attack, you are free to castle. So castles is indeed what was played. Oh wait, actually, am I disconnected again? No, it's just
Uh.
lagging. Sorry, it's just lagging.
Okay. It.
Bitrate
Oh,
is
the
fine though.
h3. H3 is nice.
Give me a moment. I'm just double checking to see if how terribly am I lagging.
Stream's up for me at least.
Yeah, stream is up now. Okay, good. H3. You want to play G4?
You can.
Why? Is the knight? Do
Um.
you really want to let the knight get away from the center? And get away from the side of the board?
Because if you, even though it like gets away from the side of the board, it doesn't really have anywhere to go.
I think the knight wants to go to knight g7 though, because you want to go to g7 to come back here. This is
But
like the best
after
square for the
g4,
knight.
you can't.
Okay, let's say we go here now, then you play g4. Then I can even play h5,
No,
right?
but if you go back now, you don't have to play g4.
But if you don't go to
I'm
g4, then
saying
I'm
like,
coming to f5. Okay, let's say you play d5. Okay, let's say you play d5. Okay, attacking the the bishop. So
okay,
bishop.
that's
Okay, you
not
finally
good.
recognize the threat. You return to e2, because you're never opening anything with the knight here, and you want to play g5. Okay, wait, let's another nothing
It's
move.
not help move.
Um,
I don't know.
c5. You don't have to take. You don't have to do anything here. Just
Sure.
it's just grabbing space.
Say g4, knight back.
Mm-hmm. What have you done besides open up your own king?
I want to move my knight and play f4.
Okay, let's say you move your knight to play f4.
What does black play?
I think I think you have enough defensive pieces here. It's not like the previous game, right? It's not like the previous game. The pieces in Black's camp, because of the extra space, the pawns actually don't obstruct the pieces at all. And actually, I think White is a bit more awkward when trying to get pieces in. After you
True,
play
but
f4 is better, but I think actually this can be a very interesting kings in the attack kind of structure where sure you can play f4. I'm going to just go all in on the queen side. I think Black is ready to just go all in on the queen side. Knight c6 and prepare to push and just
this
win
would
on
be
the
a
queen
fun
side.
game.
Yeah, this will be
I play
very,
this position.
if played by high level players like maybe above 2k, I think this can be very interesting for
Yeah.
sure. If you play something like f4, oh wait, you just tried the
f4 traps
bishop.
your bishop.
Yeah, you can't play
So,
that.
not f4 yet, but
Maybe trade
so
then
maybe you take
f4.
first.
Yeah, takes then
f4.
f4. Then you follow through on your plan. You win the pawn here.
Yeah, in this case, probably you don't, right?
Because
Because
black
I
wins on
mean,
the
the whole
queen side
c5,
first.
creates initiative that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Maybe if like maybe if we just gave the tempo back, then like yeah, this would work.
Okay, let's say it's a completely useless move. Here, this is the most useless move I can find.
Wouldn't that just make like, okay, sure, let's say the same line, right? Uh, what what move do we play? Let's say we bring the bishop back.
Okay.
Oh no, that's still traps
You
the
still
bishop.
trap the bishop. Even after extra
Goes back to
tempo,
f4.
f4. Even here you can still fight back c5 and then you're still
c3, yeah.
c3. Let's see, knight c6.
Knight
Just keep
c6.
going
Let's
forward to the
put something
plan.
on a. Let's put a knight on f3. Bring the knights in.
Which knight?
Both are fine.
Okay,
Let's
maybe
say
this
h.
knight. Yeah, I think this knight might be more useful. Because you want to allow your queen to hold here, and you might want to jump here instead.
Maybe.
If you want to go, let's say we're going all out. Black goes all out queen
Yeah.
side, white goes all out king side. Just rush, storm down.
Actually,
Um,
engine says this is almost equal. I just turned it on. It says like minus 0.3.4. So that's like marginally better.
and this is after giving away two tempi.
True.
Yeah, this is after giving away two tempi. So this idea of going all in on the king side probably isn't the best.
It's probably not the best, but it's something I play. Like
Yeah,
first
it's
attack.
definitely very interesting for sure. If there are
I'm one of those
some,
players that just goes on like ridiculous attacks.
if there's some really strong, crazy attacking players out there, I would like to watch this game like from this position. It would be definitely would be interesting, like a
Alright.
queen side attack and a king side attack.
Can I maybe I'll give lag back and like play this position. I will get back to you on that.
I think since black is objectively better, right? I think it's a nicer thing for especially players like me, right? I would much prefer to see how a successful queen side attack would work because king side attacks are it's very obvious. Like at least for me, as a sacrifice everything,
Yeah, there's
kill the
like a
king.
king, there's something to go for.
Yeah, just mate. But on the queen side, right, oftentimes you feel like it's not enough because like okay, you win material, you win a position advantage. So what? I'm still going to have extra time to mate your king. But
Yeah, this is why I don't play the
oftentimes,
kings Indian. I don't know how the queens side attack.
queenside attack is very very strong. Queenside attack
Yeah,
can be very strong if you know how to
it
play
can be
it.
strong. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't. So this is why I don't play the King's Indian.
which is why I think if queenside a proper queenside attack was played from around this position, it would be a very good learning experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go back to the actual game with straight very very far away.
Okay.
Should
Bishop
d3.
d3.
You
D3.
see knight c6. Wait,
Wait, what?
knight c6.
Yeah. Okay.
Hitting the bishop.
Uh,
It obstructs
knight
c5
h.
though. Obstructs c5,
Huh?
but
What is knight h2?
I guess maybe same idea as yours to push.
Still
Maybe
traps it bishop.
not now. Like maybe after you push, knight retreats, you trade, then you push.
Maybe.
Maybe
But
it's the
can't you
same
just like?
idea as yours.
Honestly, can't you just take?
Take what?
Oh, it was played.
Oh, it was played. Yeah, you can. Here knight g4 was played. A
Huh?
blunder. So just giving up a
Because you just give
piece.
up a piece. Yeah.
But Dakyun doesn't really take it. Instead, he plays bishop to g5. Maybe this is a pre-move. Is it a pre-move? No, it's not. After 15 seconds, actually. 14
I
seconds.
mean,
Yeah.
time
Uh,
pressure.
and now this also blunders a fork, actually. But why fork when you can just take the piece
The fork
cleanly?
doesn't really
But
work because you can take the knight first and then just get your bishop out.
as soon as I say that, f4 was indeed played.
Yeah, but you can just take one of these pieces.
Yeah. I was saying that, it would be a fork, but why fork when you can just cleanly capture the piece with a piece, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
take and it's fine.
Instead,
Okay, it just was
f4
played.
was played. Knight takes
Knight d3,
d3.
c
Nice. So
d3.
now Dakyun is up a clean piece. Bishop to h4 was played, so getting out of the way from the pawn. Knight check, nice move actually, nice check. King h8, kicking the knight back.
Uh, okay.
The knight is kind of
Rook f.
trapped,
It is. It's just straight up trap.
but there is no way to access the bishop, so you can't really remove the defender. The only way you can remove the defender is if if let's say I'm just going to move this bishop back and forth. Okay, we move the bishop back and
Yeah.
forth. So you play this. Okay, you go here. You push here. Okay, you go back. You come here. Go back. Then you can take the bishop. Yay!
Yeah, but in general, I really want to play this. I just like lock this bishop here.
True. It's just that it's too inaccessible at the moment.
Stockfish being stockfish, it's just sack.
No, because I think the thing is right. The thing is right. If you play this move too early, then the knight manages to escape, and now this knight is inaccessible. And if you try to
We
kick
can
it away, then you still gain tempo.
no, but you can just take
What do you mean?
knights move backwards.
True, but then you can just capture back
And
and
you
use
break
it to
through
attack
instead.
this. You can't break through because you have 2 pawns here.
Push takes. Knight takes the
You
attack.
want to try and win this bishop, right? But you can't because there's no way to access it. The light squares are controlled by the pawns, the dark squares are controlled by the bishop. So there's no way to really attack it unless you play knight here.
What the hell?
So maybe
Top engine move is rook f2.
because you want to allow this, I guess.
Takes. Okay, and just say that you're better. Okay.
I mean, you're up a rook.
Oh wait, no,
Um,
black is better. Never mind.
but if rook
I have a
f1,
no. I think it's saying that white is so bad that it's just saying sack the rook and like pray, because there's honestly nothing else you can do.
black is up a piece, but
No, it's saying that black is like so overwhelmingly better that white has nothing better to do than sack the rook. For some play.
what's the difference with rook f1 and rook f2?
0.2. So not much of a difference.
No, but why is rook f2 better than rook f1?
I don't know, I guess it's saying that like after takes take, like you can like bring something and like pray that black blunders me.
If I don't take, if I just leave the bishop there,
Yeah, which is
is
what
there
Engine
anything more? Is
wants.
there anything more productive to do for black?
Doesn't look
Because
like it.
if there isn't right, then Then why wouldn't you just play rook f1 and then just win the bishop next move?
f6 or h6. f6, h6 breaks the bishop out of jail just in time.
Okay, here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Black's just overwhelmingly better.
Yeah, even the trap bishop is not good enough. Anyway, bishop knight e2 instead was played. Knight e2 check,
Ugh.
giving up a piece.
Oh no.
Oh
Queen e2, of
no.
course.
And bishop to
Uh,
e7. I guess
why? You had such a nice attack and then you just
just
back up.
preventing, maybe worried about this awkward piece placement. The
Also,
knight
Dakyun has
looked
half the
trapped.
time.
Yeah, Daikyo has half the time, and it looks like the knight was trapped. So felt that, at least I give a check and then I just get out of dodge kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that feels like
Fair
the
enough.
general vibe. So knight e2 check, back e4.
e4.
It's not bad.
Ooh.
Trying to break things open. F5 was
f5.
played. I think F5 just helps white.
G.
Oh, I was thinking that
g5.
it helped black, it helped white because white wants to open things up and attack the king side to get counterplay. So this just allows e takes F5.
I think it hangs something.
Hmm?
No, g5, sorry.
G5.
Yeah, this hangs something.
Um.
This takes, let's say, takes. And then there's instead of pawn take, there's queen takes.
Oh, it
No,
comes
you
with
don't take with
check.
the pawn. You take with the queen because there's check, and then you fall. Say the king move, then you just take. And you also, yeah, you have to play that, and then you just I don't know, come in.
Ah. And the walls keep tumbling down. Yeah,
Death.
death. Anyhow, that wasn't played. D takes e4 was played. Oh, D takes e4 was
Oh,
actually played. After g5, D takes e4 was played. Oh, nice find,
okay, fair
Dakyun.
enough.
Wow,
That,
strong moves.
can we call it nice fine if you didn't see queen takes d4?
I mean, F takes e4 is also good.
Yeah,
F
fair
takes
enough.
e4 is good. That's the
Either
that's
way, that's
the
not material though.
best move that I found. Wait.
Alright.
Oh, it's Gura
Alright.
called
Oh,
Gura called
yeah.
karaoke. Karaoke.
Oh,
F takes e4. This is great because you have to move the rook now. It's my life. It's how I wanna
yeah, I think we're back.
live forever.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Not everything is live yet. I'm still waiting for stuff to. Still low latency. Bitrate is
YouTube is
still
live.
wow.
Quarantine is how long? 2 weeks, right?
For me, it's 1 week. My
Ah,
country is 1 week. Yeah. Okay, we're back live. It's my life. Right, it's live again. Sorry for the internet problems. I hate it. I hate the Wi-Fi as well.
okay. Oh, there's still queen d4. Huh?
Queen, what?
There's still queen d4 here. I think
Oh,
I think here
oh.
you have to just give up the pawn.
Wait, no, because yeah, you have to give it a pawn because if you capture here, then there's
You
queen
just
queen
lose the
d4,
piece.
and then yeah, that's why I said you have to move the rook. When I said queen d5 was played, was it a mouse slip or is it just not spotted? Probably not just spotted. Maybe it was a pin or some sort. Trying to win the piece this way.
But yes, of course, it's knight back. Did neither side saw it?
No, but if you move the knight back, then you just oh yeah, you move this way to defend the knight. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
But
you move here,
instead, this way.
wait. If you move here, you can still take, and then you can take with the bishop.
Ah,
Wait, you can block with the rook, maybe?
yeah, block with the rook. No, but rook f4.
Then
So maybe we block this way.
bishop c5.
Ah,
Then you have to play something like knight f1. Then rook takes f4. Then all the pressure is
God.
coming through. death.
Yeah, just
It's
resigns.
always the Wi-Fi's fault. It is okay. Maybe it's even my school's fault. I don't know. Or maybe it's the hostel's fault. But the thing is, the funny thing is, I'm not even at the very outskirt of the hostel. You know, it's not like I'm at the very edge of the entire place. I think I'm pretty close to the main office and the like main entrance.
There's like a
So,
pop-up on your screen that says bad network quality.
lol. Ah, okay, I removed it.
Okay. But instead knight c3, just give up the
Yeah,
the
knight
rook.
c3 gives up the rook, and Dakyun, of course, sees it.
Ooh,
Tries to go for a check counter attack, but it's not. It's for north. Very nice.
and mate in one.
Yep,
Okay.
with a threat of mate in one, even blocking with a piece is good enough. Very
Alright.
nice. Very
Well,
nice.
3 games took us 1.5 hours. I think we need to speed up.
Yeah, we definitely need speed up. This is our previous speed. This is like
Yeah,
our
okay.
original speed.
Which one do we want to go for?
Yes, second, let me just block
Capetos,
this
Arthur,
random Russian
Capetos.
spammer first. Uh, I think let's briefly, very briefly, look at actually the Kana match. Kana versus Dusty.
Which one? This.
Number 20. Look at number 20. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to say something. We know how strong Kana is, right? Kana at some point was even over 2k rated. Kana is very, very strong.
Wait,
So
really?
playing against
Oh,
was
I don't remember people's
wasn't it?
ratings.
And I
No, I
thought at
think
some point they were
their
over
chess. I
TK
think
for
their
a
chess
while.
column is 2K. I think their chess column is 2K.
I'm not sure, but I remember
Like 2K blitz.
them being very strong, a very strong player.
Yeah.
And playing against a 1200, no offense to 1200s around the world, but it's a whole different world compared to a 2K or even a 1800 rated player. So couldn't be surprised when in their match, Dusty actually managed to steal a win from Kana. Actually, if you look at chapter 21,
Oh.
second
Okay.
game,
So you
okay, you
want to
can
look at
see. Yeah, it's very
what?
very short. It's very very short. Let's just take it. Oh, it's
Oh,
just
it's
very
just
very
a one
short.
move.
Yeah, it's just a one move blunder. So d4 knife 6, you can see a London over here
Uh,
with a e6 d6 calls again. You can see going for the shark fin kind of structure, but this is actually a more traditional Queen's Indian. And everything is
so
very standard over here.
h6.
This is some sort of like a hippo kind of structure. h6, everything very standard. And then we see a
Wait,
mouse
bishop
slip,
e4 was a mouse slip.
bishop e4.
It has to be a mouse slip. Like e4 was supposed to be played.
But why would you? Oh yeah, how would you
Like
hold a
e4 is just
mouse? e4 is the
like if you
best
try to
move on the
flick,
board.
right? Especially like after thinking for like a full minute.
Oh yeah, it's 1 whole minute, more than 1 minute even. Like I'm trying to click
So,
it quickly. Like if you, how would you, how would you
or maybe
actually?
like if you're drawing arrows, you might select the piece and then you just click on e4.
Oh, so it's like something like this, but or maybe like the settings are different.
Yeah.
It's like click something.
It's not like a pre-move either. Like they thought for like over a minute.
Yeah. But let's say if even if you're supposed to move the bishop, there's really nowhere to move the bishop. That's good. And there's nowhere to move the knight.
Yeah,
That's good.
maybe
There's nowhere to
maybe
move
just
this.
drawing
There's
arrows
nowhere to
like
move
here,
this.
or just like accidentally select the bishop. Because there's a mode where like you just like click and like click the squares you want it to go to instead of
Kana's
dragging.
peak Lichess has been 2k. Can confirm. Nice. Yeah.
Ooh.
So pick 2k. Yeah, so this isn't definitely isn't a 2k move, bishop e4. So relatively very surprising. If only Kana was here, they could have let us know what actually went on. But since I don't think they're here, it can only remain as a mystery for our stream. Yeah.
In Kana right now is 1983
Oh,
rapid,
very
like this
nice.
account, and I think they have odds. So
Nice. Mm, I
Yeah,
think
so this is probably a slip.
I think we can skip Gabeto and Spartan. Let's just look at Mir versus Beyond and see how fast we go through that.
Alright, wanna look at a game with a 1500 one or all of them?
Do you find any of them particularly interesting? Oh yeah, wait,
Didn't
wait.
really look at a game.
Before we go into that, let's actually just mention something very spicy. If you type exclamation format in the chat, you'll realize that all of the matches are played in the best of four format. So what that means is that you'll play four games in total, alternating the sides, unless somebody gets two
It didn't work.
2.5 and above. So unless I think my stream isn't live. Am I lagging? Am I offline again?
I don't know, but no, but like format the command doesn't work.
I think it's because I'm offline.
Streams up for me though.
Wait. Some of my stuff is on offline. Like for example, my comments might be offline. Let me just.
Oh yeah, was this the one that where both agreed to play a best of five?
Yes, exactly. That was what I was about to touch upon. Um,
Uh oh, and there was still Armageddon. Interesting.
Let me test. Oh, hello, Sham. Stream's working here. I think my yeah exclamation mark format works for me.
Okay, let me try again.
I think just now my reply bot was
Ah,
offline.
it works now.
Yeah, my reply bot was offline. That's why. Some of my stuff was offline. Let's go university Wi-Fi. But anyway, August. So yeah, that's the very spicy thing about this match. This is a best of four tournament, so you have to get 2.5 and above. And if it's a draw, because there's four games, right? You might be even. It's an even number. You might get a draw. Then you go into Armageddon, to decide the tiebreaker. But both of them agreed to a best of five instead. So it's the traditional whoever gets to three first wins. And the spicy thing about this is, I can just describe the match situation to you right now. Bjorn, the higher rated player, 1700 rated, as you can see over here, won the first two games, 2-0. All right. So the first game was 0-1. Second game was 1-0. The third game was a draw. So now they are 2.5 to 0.5. So Bjorn has already won the match. But since they decided on the best of five instead of a best of four, 2.5 isn't enough to get to 3, right? 2.5 is not 3, it's just lesser than that. So they continued to play the games, and then Mir fought back. Mir fought back on the fourth game and in the fifth game as well, leading to a 2.5 tie. And in the end, they played Armageddon, which ended up in the favor of Mir. So extremely spicy match, all due to their private agreement to play best of five instead of best of four. Mir managed to claw back and win the
Okay,
entire
Beyond
match.
isn't actually 1700.
Really?
Yeah, it's provisional.
Ah, I mean that would make sense because of the large
Also,
rating drop.
yeah,
Yeah, it's provisional, but still, this is very spicy. Imagine if they decide to just play by the official rules,
yeah,
Mir
Mel
would
would
have
win.
made it through. Yeah,
Also, these games were rated, which I found very funny.
yeah, probably their own private agreement, which is
I
definitely very
think Mel just
interesting.
doesn't know how to create casual games.
Really?
I don't know, because I don't think this is the first time I've seen Mel play rated games in this tournament.
Oh, then for all we know, that might indeed be the case. Um,
Alright.
According to Volov, this agreement started as an accidental communication misunderstanding. So it was a
Oh.
miscommunication that
Also,
resulted into this
they
private
just like
agreement.
played 5 games.
Yeah, they didn't. They thought that maybe we
Uh,
said best of four with Armageddon tiebreaker. Maybe they thought we were supposed to play best of five instead because that's for 5 games, and they ended up playing 6 games. Mir always plays rated. Oh, so you're right. Gotta get those points. If I don't have a chance of beating Meridian, at least I'm going to get those rating points. Her.
Yeah, if I play rated against him, I think I don't gain any rating points for winning.
What's your rating now? 2400?
Rapid.
Yeah.
Uh, 2359.
Yeah, 2359. You're not gonna gain anything.
Yeah, and then if I lose, I just like casually drop 50 points.
30 maybe? 30 points.
Jesus.
Yeah. So very interesting, definitely. So I think let me see. I think the draw was a very spicy match. The
Okay, let
wins.
me
Wait, let me
just.
check. I think the wins were fairly standard. Uh, yeah, wins
Maybe
were
we.
definitely fairly standard. Just the
Okay, what if
draw.
we look at the
Uh,
draw and then the outcome?
yeah, the spicy thing about this match, right, were the crucial games were very swingy. So, for example, starting from the third game over here, Mir is down with the back against the wall, 2-0, 0-2. Okay, so this is where Mir needs to stop the bleeding and claw back. And this is one the first critical game over here, and it's kind of wild. So let's see Mir with their signature English opening c4, c5. We see a symmetrical English, as we mentioned before. Knight c3 is something you want to play always, and we see some sort of a three knights variation, with a sort of Catalan kind of approach.
Yeah.
Yes, you're saying.
E. Yeah, E5 is a bit weird.
I think e5 is
I mean,
fine.
if you're playing a symmetrical English, normally you just like copy, right?
Yeah, true.
G6, etc.
If instead of G here, if knight here was played, then I think they would just play symmetrical. But I
Yeah.
think after G3, you can still play G6 to keep it symmetrical, and this is a variation after all. But I think
Yeah,
after
it's like full symmetry variation or something like that.
something like it's a symmetrical variation, yeah. And then you
Yeah,
just
it's called
castle
the full
castle.
symmetry line.
Yeah, very in peace, with the symmetry. But after here, I think after bishop to g2, black tries to switch things up a bit with e5. E5 is sort of a combative move against c5, against c4. Sort of a way to, if white doesn't
Yeah,
want
but
to play
after
a
C5,
stake,
it's a bit.
it's good unless white has already played something like e3 or d4 or even e4. As long as none of these central pawn moves are played, e5 is always on time for in this kind of symmetrical
Actually, after
English
E5,
positions.
E3 was played.
Yeah, but at this point you now have a stronger clamp on the center, and now e5 is actually justified.
Mhm.
Yeah. So e3 was played here, and now
I know
after
E3 no theory
establishing,
for the English. So,
I only know a little bit on the symmetrical because I play it as a bullet opening because you just do the same
yeah.
thing. But here, for some reason, black decides to go back to the symmetry route and play g6 after creating this sort of a bind on
So now
the
knight
d4 square.
G2,
Knight
just
g2.
preparing D4, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why you don't really want to develop to knight f3. You can play d5. Can you play it now? You can play d4. You
You
can play
can.
d4.
I think D6 would
e4
be a
now.
bit nicer though. E4, no. I don't think you can.
Yeah, it's not great now. But a lot of times in this type of structure, you don't want to play knight f3, you want to play knight to e2
Yeah.
instead.
Also,
Um,
I think like rerouting your knight to F4 is nice.
Actually, come to think of it, this actually looks a lot like a system. What's the system called? This king side, like not ignore this here. Wait, let me look it up. What's this system called? I've seen this system before. You can go on. Let me just double check my notes. I've seen this before.
You have notes? Damn.
I have notes on openings. Yes. Back when I was
Hang
first
on.
learning
I'm
chess,
gonna
I was
mute myself.
very hardworking. Now I'm very lazy.
Yeah. I'm back.
Uh, Hey, did I not put in my notes?
Yeah, I have no idea what this is.
Ah,
So long.
Botvinnik system. Yeah, Botvinnik system is instead of e3, like something like this, and then
Yeah, but e4 and then bishop e3, right?
yeah, it's something like this.
This is interesting.
Yeah, then you have ideas of pushing here and then attacking along this diagonal, stuff like that. Very interesting system. Very offbeat.
All right.
But yeah, it looked interesting. Anyway, instead e3
It
was
looks interesting,
played
but honestly, it looks
g6.
painful to play.
Depends on what type of English you're facing again. It's not for the symmetrical, I don't think.
I
It's
mean, it
more
depends on your style, lah.
hmm.
It's not my style.
Okay, so bishop to e2, g7, okay, following through the
Okay,
plan, castles,
castles. This looks
castles,
nice.
b3,
B3.
understandable. Trying
Can
to
I
gain more
play
control.
F4?
I think they're trying to force d4 through, but f4 definitely makes sense. It helps to
I
push
like
e4,
F4.
d4.
I've said it in Discord before. I just the F4, the F pawn is just my least favorite pawn.
Because it's so weak. So weak, just
Yeah, and
throw
then
it away,
like
right?
if you can just like open it up in kingside castle, right? Just punch your rook through.
Actually, I have a friend that does that as well. In my uni chess club, they always like to play some King's Indian kind of games. They just castle, move the knight away, play f4, attack.
Yeah, like
And,
not having an F pawn is just great.
and the thing
Like
is,
in a lot of like systems that I play, I just play like F3, F6.
also very similar to you, right? They also play very quickly in long time controls, except that they do it the Ivanchuk, not Ivanchuk.
Nepo.
Is not Nepo. Is it Ivanchuk? No,
Nepo is
Grischuk,
blitz
Grischuk,
away.
Grischuk,
Grish away.
Grischuk, Sasha style.
Like just like get down to really low time and then
Yeah,
suddenly
you,
start playing bullets.
I tell you, even in international tournaments, right? Like while we represent to go for uni tournaments, international tournaments, like in Southeast Asia or
Yeah.
in
I've never
FIDE
tried
World
that.
Uni. When we play in FIDE World Uni, right? He was getting to like 10, living off increment on like in the early middle game, and then open as like a few minutes, and then still stealing away draws. And then you're like,
What
if you have time, you have won.
what if you're thinking so much about like in the early middle game, like something's wrong.
I don't know, but
Is it like
as
was it rapid or like classical?
Rapid and Blitz also, no classical, because
Okay.
when I entered uni, it was already in COVID era. So
Okay, so rapid and blitz kind of makes sense.
yeah, but the thing is, right, always doing the same patterns though, like castling, move the knight away, play f4, attack. It's like always the same kind of plan. Then you're thinking for
I
so
like it.
long.
I mean, I like it. I stand.
Yeah, but I have a
Like
I have a
I was
negative record against him, so I can't really say that his approach is bad. But people even stronger have said that his approach is bad. So yeah.
I mean, the approach is bad, but like it's nice. I like it. I don't care. I don't care if the approach is bad.
Love
I
says
mean,
that
there are like objectively unsound openings that people play. It's fine.
true. I play that as well. Right half
Okay,
reminded me of a hippo after h2 and knight e2. The left side is completely off course. Yeah, it's kind of Fianchetto, castle, knight e2, a bit more passive kind of development.
this is
Definitely
just like a
similar to the
hippo
hippo.
merge with whatever the hell this is supposed to be.
This is like a Nimzo Larsen kind of queen side,
Yeah,
which means that a lot of moves were wasted because that's a lot of pawn moves and a lot of very passive development.
but I
Sasha,
mean, this is in
5 minutes
English, so it's
left.
probably fine.
5 minutes left and casually plays 30 moves. Yeah, so Sasha's a beast. Yep, two different sides of the board, two different sides of the world.
There's
Uh,
just two different openings.
anyway, following through the
Uh,
plan, bishop to b2, and catering, queen to d7. This is definitely not the
uh,
way you would normally see it. Normally, we will see the other way around with bishop here first, then queen here, then try to trade off the dice square bishop because this Piancato is very strong. But okay, queen to
trying to
d7.
trade off the queen, maybe.
Trying to trade off the queen with queen to h3. No, no. Um, okay. f4 was played your knight, your favorite move.
Yeah, let's go F4.
f4.
Is it the top engine move?
No.
It's not. It's not even close. But
Yeah, d4, my move. Principle.
nah, screw being principled. Attack.
It's not even an attack.
No, but like with an open F file, you can get an attack, and that's kind of the point.
Okay. But I think
I
black is
like
the
it.
one who can attack because like if this is sort of Nimso Larsen structures and like slower development on the queen side in particular, knight b5 is always very very annoying. And knight b4 sorry, knight b4 is definitely not
True.
very annoying. And especially annoying now because you have wasted so many pawn moves. This knight not only is gripping a lot of pawns here, it's a nice outpost.
Okay, but if
Um
you play that now, maybe I can like you can play d4 then.
mm,
Let's
you
say
mean
we play
after
this
here
now.
then d4?
No, maybe not d4 because it's just no d4 is
d4 is
just
just
too
bad
much.
now.
d3 maybe.
D3, yeah, then you at least you get some maintain some control over the light squares. It's not so bad.
Yeah, and the knight can't really come in. So
Yeah, but then this pawn will become a weakness and shows itself because you don't want to capture back with the e pawn, right? You want to keep the file open.
yeah, rook takes definitely.
Yeah, then now this pawn is a weakness.
It's only a weakness if your opponent can get to it.
You can though. That's why taking. So you make it a
Okay, then
weakness.
let's shove it down their throat.
Oh, now
Yeah,
worst
it's
to
fine.
worst, you can always just go back. Yeah, I mean it's fine. Would you prefer white though?
Yes,
I think actually in this case yes, because this bishop is terrible. I don't know what queen e7
without
does.
question, I would play. I would choose white.
Yeah,
You could give
actually,
black an extra piece, and I play white.
no, that's too far.
No, for me, I don't care. This is just too nice a position to give up.
But I do get what you mean though. I have made sacrifices that have made my position objectively just bad because I'm just down a piece, but the position becomes very nice. I have made those types
Yeah,
of sacrifices before. And I either still have enough gas to just win, or I just run out of gas and just lose. Uh,
happens to the best of us.
yeah.
I mean, here you can
Um,
already consider like here, and then just sack your rook, and then move the knight and go for mate.
it's a lot of moves, but the knight is still controlling that square.
It doesn't matter. You can just sack the knight because there's a bishop here.
Ah. I thought the whole point of knight d4, knight d5 working is because you have too many attackers. But if you just trail the knight, then there's not enough attackers left, and then the knight still defends the knight over
No,
here.
but I'm saying like if we let's say we sack like the rook for two pieces,
Yeah,
right?
but the knight after recapturing still captures back. So when you capture the knight, if you capture the knight, they can move it away already.
No, because if we put this here, we threaten mate in one.
Okay, maybe yeah, too fast. I'm not following you. Maybe our moves orders are different
Okay. Let's say like some
here,
morting moves, right?
but that's a lot of morting moves. Okay.
And then
Oh
let's say
wait,
another
why
nothing
would you
move.
randomly hang a piece? This is
What?
randomly hanging a piece. What the heck? Of course, it's going to be good. Come on, two attackers and just one defender. What are you talking about?
This isn't hanging a piece. It's sacking a rook for two pieces. This is my idea. And then like I'm saying now, if I move the knight, this we threaten mate in one.
Yeah.
Like okay like if you stop it, of course, but
Stop it, you're already
I
gonna do useless moves.
I can't calculate that many moves deep. Okay, I'm not stockfish.
I thought your whole idea was so that when
No,
you
this my entire
attack,
idea was just haha attack.
I thought the idea was instead of giving another useless move, you pile on too many attackers here, and then you can't really move the knight because you attack the bishop. I thought it was something like that. But okay, I get what you mean now. It's even more intangible than I thought. But okay, let's get back to the real world. After f4, e takes
Real
f4 was
world.
played. Not a bad
Oh
move
no bad.
actually. Not a bad move to be honest. Knight takes
It's
f4
giving
though.
black what they oh I
Knight
don't
takes
know.
f4. I think it's not
Not
ready
bad.
yet. Yeah. Knight takes
Okay,
f4,
maybe
you
you want
get
to go
ready to
here.
come here. Yeah,
Maybe you
here
want to
as
go here.
well. Yeah, this as well. Then you can trade queens for the bishop. Knight to e7 was played. I
E7,
don't
bishop
really like
e3
that though.
was played. Queen c7. Take like you oh shit.
Whoa. Careful your arrows.
Yeah, but I thought you just like take and jump your knight in somewhere, right?
Do you jump in for? Oh yeah, right, right. You're right. You can actually just take. Or even better, you jump here first. You don't want to play knight
Mm.
b4, then I'll play knight b5.
That's nice.
It's very nice because light square is controlled by this one, dark square is controlled by knight.
Mm.
Anyhow, instead, white decides to
Bishop G4.
retreat the bishop.
Bishop back. Strange, but okay. Bishop
Bishop to
D7.
d7
E4.
for, I
Okay.
guess, trying to play e5 maybe.
No, but you can take.
True, but the thing is, right, this makes playing d4 infinitely harder in the future.
Yeah, it does.
e4,
Just hangs upon, but okay, both sides don't see it.
yeah, because the point is that if you capture, you can recapture back, but then you lose the bishop here with tempo.
No, wait, actually, no, it's
Wait,
bishop takes.
no, yeah, it's bishop takes.
Okay, we're both bad at chess, don't listen to us.
Yeah, I've always known that bad at chess is okay. Um,
Same.
anyhow, bishop to c6, contesting this fianchetto bishop. C to d5, nice,
Ooh,
planting the knight there actually. But now this
okay.
is hanging, I think. No, it's not. It's not. Because it's no longer attacking. So nice. If anything captures back, this bishop is dead. Knight e takes d5, captures with that knight.
Ooh, connect four?
Captures with the knight.
Ugh.
I was thinking capture the pawn, right?
Yeah,
Now this
connect four.
bishop is dead.
And connect four.
Yeah, and connect 4. As we mentioned before, connect 4 is not just a meme, it's actually strong. Pawns together strong. And the reason why knight, I guess the reason is that because knight takes knight, then okay, this is nice, right? Oh wait, is my connection lagging? Yeah. So this might be nicer, right? Like if this happens, oh wait, no, because the bishop is hanging. Never mind.
No, but rook b1 is fine.
Here,
Like, yeah, you take first, but if we allow bishop takes, is there like no, if we take the knight, what?
wait. This was actually played. What the heck?
Oh,
Wait. Takes with knight. Okay, this actually happened. Knight takes d5. So now this bishop is hanging. Bishop takes g7 first. Okay, good recognition.
knight e3 is interesting.
It's the best move.
It's interesting.
Because you don't want to allow white to have this chain left. So you attack the queen, so you don't give enough time to capture the rook. After you capture that, only you capture, and then now this
And
one
then
is better.
you argue that like structure, but
And
wow.
now this is very weak because it's actually
How
accessible.
long did that take? Hang on.
15 seconds.
Like 15 seconds?
Stuffing brush is the best move.
Wow.
Oh, it's good find. I don't think I would have found it, maybe.
No, I would just blitz takes. I'll just blitz out takes and like
I mean, I understand like desperadoing, but that's a very
wow.
nice way of desperadoing.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I
nice,
wouldn't have
nice
found that.
move.
Like
Nice move.
if you gave me a while to find it, I would have found it, but like I
I
probably
don't,
wouldn't have
yeah, I
found
wouldn't
it.
have tried to look for it in the game.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even like try to find something better.
Interesting, very interesting. D takes, king takes, very nice. Rook f2, guys preparing to double up on the f file. F to e8, attacking the weaknesses. D3, getting out of the way to prepare to double up on the f file and also defending the pawn. B6 for no reason, I guess just solidifying. Rook f af1, continuing the plan. Oh, so that was the idea to make the queen also attack the square. But the problem is that it gives up this pawn, and you actually also lose your queen with check.
Yeah.
Actually, the nicer move would have been to just play rook e7, defend while also preparing to
Yeah.
double up. Yeah, that would be the nicer move. But
Yeah.
instead, queen b7 attacking an attacker onto this pawn while losing this pawn, which is actually spotted by Mir. Nice, very nice. Spotted by Mir. Knight rook takes here, queen takes. So sacrificing the pawn, sacrificing the queen for two rooks. And here we see. Wait, what? This pawn is also hanging.
It is. No,
Queen
but
to
then have fun
f1
hands, and I
check.
guess that's the idea.
Wait, actually, this is the only winning move. This is the only winning move. Because
Yeah,
after
because
you
you can argue
take,
that two rooks. So.
no, like
Yeah,
queen takes
you
is the
gain
only.
tempo.
Yeah, tempo is very important.
No,
So
because
after you
I say
take
like
here,
if you don't like take the material, then honestly, black's actually equal in material. Two rooks or queen.
hmm. But here white is overwhelmingly better because I guess the king is not exposed. I guess
Yeah,
maybe pass pawn. But
maybe.
in anyhow, after queen to f1 check, this actually completely
But
blunders the
it's
game
yeah, but it's quite logical, honestly.
because after king to g7, finding the only way to maintain a draw, um, you just lose the pawn,
White just doesn't really have any moves.
and the king is also exposed. The pawn, there are enough pawns on the board, so we give some
It's just
checks,
digging up.
block.
Yeah, and there's just no way to defend though.
Oh,
Was there a repetition?
I think at some point it's going to be a repetition. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a repetition somewhere here.
and black isn't confident enough to maneuver the rooks, which is understandable. It's not easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gets
it's
very
repetition.
tricky.
I don't think either side wants to draw, but at this point you have to draw.
Yeah, both sides gobbling up pawns, making things as difficult as possible. Black trying to keep the rooks at the same rook on the
Uh,
same file so that they aren't picked off.
let's just find a repetition.
Ah,
And there it
here.
is.
Good job. Yeah, there's no.
Armageddon?
White actually managed to force this draw, actually, to be honest, because yeah, there's no way to move the king to any other square while defending the rooks. It's
I
very
think the
interesting.
strategy in this kind of positions they just keep giving checks and pray that like the person with two rooks blunders one of them.
That can be tough though, because here, of course, the rooks are disjointed, so
Yeah.
you can force a
Oh,
draw.
that's yeah. I had a
But
game something like that.
there's a lot of pawns in the beginning though. If the king was safe, the two rooks would be stronger, much stronger. But yeah, it's
Featuring.
not easy. It's not easy. Actually, the next game, very briefly, was also super swingy. Was also super swingy. Um, Bjorn had an amazing advantage. Let me just jump to a position over here. We can see that has very nice development. Bishop pair very strong. Developed pieces very nice. More pawns in the center. Black has very little space, and white is completely winning over here. But after even here, white
Oh,
still
that was
has a pawn advantage and also some very nice pieces. But after a blunder here with a queen to a4, things very quickly turn around after bishop to a6, and no, not bishop a6, bishop a6, bishop to e3, attacking the queen. Yeah, and here because of this tactic, where after the bishop takes the knight, both queens are unguarded, so white effectively just lost a piece. So with this turnaround, Mir then went on to win this game. So getting to finding momentum again, winning the next game, and then going on to Armageddon. Let's take a look at
oh
Armageddon.
did it take off my link?
What do you mean? Another queen
Some
versus two rooks end game. I don't see any links. I guess it's a YouTube chat thing. Maybe you can put
yeah.
it in Twitch on Twitch instead,
I okay. Let me find
or you can send it to me. I can post it.
you. Where are you? This was one of my own games. I played it on Chess24. Don't sue me.
Chess 24 2 checkmate Bangalore. Lol. Uh,
Yeah, there was this one period where I tried playing on Chess24 to see if Magnus Carlsen would notice me.
lol. Is it there?
Alright,
Is it
nice.
up?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. I pin this. Alright.
Okay. Guess this is the last day for the day.
Yep. So let's take a look at this Armageddon game. Again, super swingy and a
Ooh,
typical
French.
match. So you say French, very
C4,
nice.
C6, isn't
Okay, it's
it?
not a French anymore. It's somehow triangle defense. I think it's actually called a triangle defense.
Oh, interesting.
Oops. Oh wait, it's not a triangle defense. What is this?
Something.
Okay, let's just go through the opening then, because I have no idea what this
Uh,
is. So once again,
okay,
we
rookie one.
see that.
Ooh,
Um,
offers on.
let's go. Anyhow, we see that I think this is very similar to the previous critical game that I showed earlier. I think it's something similar with this
Okay.
sort of exchange Caro-Kann like structure and development, and we're having less space due to passive development in the opening. So
Also,
once
Bjorn is playing bullet.
Yeah, Beyond is playing very quickly. I think this is
I
because
think
it's
both sides are playing very quickly.
very similar to previous lines, random openings for the win. Yeah, it's very similar to the previous lines, so I guess they are just playing automatically at this point. And yeah, G3. I think we should
G3,
go through the opening because
G3 is probably what it is.
yeah, that's probably an idea, but it's not great though.
It's not great, but this is something I play.
Hmm.
Okay, a bit weird. Maybe like C4 would have been a bit of a nicer move.
Anyhow, we can see that Beyond is actually much better in the opening. Already, I like
You're
White.
just playing like natural moves that make sense and it's working.
Yeah, that's why play principle moves, guys, very very strong. You can just play simple. You don't
Okay,
even have
but
to play a
mostly some
specific
people don't
opening.
know what principled moves are.
True, but here
Like
white
it,
is already very much better.
yeah. But I like you've probably studied what principled moves are, right?
Hmm. I think if you give
Yeah, and
this
I've just played so
position
many games
to
then.
Magnus Carlsen, like if you give Nepo white and Carlsen black, Nepo will probably win this.
Yeah, Nepo can win this, definitely.
Yeah, so that's how the position is right now.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably studied principles. I've played so many games that I automatically just know what to do.
Hmm. Yep, that's definitely one of the plans, one of the maneuvers in position. So it's like we're not playing with 3,000 rated players. We're not analyzing 3,000 rated players. Instead, we're looking at 1,300 rated players. So it should be fine. Let's take a look at what happened
Yeah,
next. Knight takes
knight
d5.
d5
We see
is
a
it.
trade,
It
and
makes
now
sense.
this looks like a
Blunder the
more
pawn.
yeah, it's a blunder of a pawn, but at least the structure looks more normal now.
Yeah,
Now it looks more like a normal white is better position instead of a weird white is better position. Now it's very clear why white
it's
is
just like
better.
you. It's just like a strange position you show someone. They're like, white is better.
But now it's like
It's
white is
not like
better.
no,
Now it's white
white's
is
just up a
better.
pawn.
Yeah, now up pawn, better structure, better development and everything. Um,
Okay, a6.
Again, we have talked about a6 before. It's not a particularly good move in this case. Knight to c6, attacking the pawn. a3 again. We have mentioned we don't really like those moves, especially when they serve no
I
purpose.
guess like you're trying to just preemptively stop this.
You know what? Engine says best move here is bishop to f1 to fear and counter the bishop, but also to let your queen defend the pawn.
Interesting.
Yeah. So trying to
Why not
justify the
c3
earlier
though?
g3
Like why
move.
not just c3?
Yeah, c3 is the move that I'll play as well. It's still completely fine. Definitely completely fine.
Yeah, it's just very natural.
Yeah, c3 is what I would play. Knight takes d4 instead, winning the pawn. There is no bishop sack trick because there's a fear and cancel
Because the
structure.
Edan does this. No, but even then, like let's say like you can try and sack the bishop. Not there.
Not now.
And now like
I
after
didn't make
takes
that move.
takes, this looks like it works, but it doesn't because there's check first.
Yeah. So he who checks first laughs last. Something like that. Anyway, c3 was played now, a bit too little too late, but it's still fairly even game because white still has lead in development, still has a very nice bishop pair. Yep.
I mean, I
G7.
just don't know who would win this. Can't
Actually,
really tell.
even here, yeah,
C3 is good.
C3 is good. G7, B4? B4 not so. I was
And
thinking maybe you want
ooh,
to play something like C4 in the future.
Now I see why someone won this game.
What?
Now I see why someone won this game,
Why?
bro.
D4? Ah, yeah, my focus is waning.
Right, good that this is the last game then.
Yeah. Was it found?
No,
No.
this was just blitzed out.
Okay, playing a bit
5 seconds.
fast. Understandable, you have lesser time.
Yeah,
Um,
like
and now it's
okay,
defended.
but still like
Applying
you
more
can start
pressure.
adding pressure.
You can even sack the rook if oh. What?
Oh, okay. Ooh,
Oh.
ooh.
Oh, wait. Let's roll it back a bit. Very interesting from here. Very interesting from here. Okay, the thing is right, when this d4 move was played, look at it, it's just a pawn sack, right? It's just a blunder.
Mm.
And objectively it is instead in fact a blunder because it gives up a pawn for no reason when you could be completely happy with that pawn. But after c takes d4, we see Mir's plan. Line up this very strong battery over here. You threaten checkmate here on g2 or g1 actually. Both squares are available for checkmate. However, there is indeed a resource for white, and which is bishop e4, which was indeed found. A very nice find from Bjorn over here. The one of
Oh,
the
but white
only
miscountered.
yeah, white miscalculated something. Here after rook takes c1, you have to
You have
capture
to fight
back.
back.
Best is to capture back with bishop, but you can
Wait,
capture back with queen as well.
Beyond just blitz this out.
Yeah, but let's just show that if you capture back the queen, everything is still protected
Yeah,
and everything is fine. But instead
Beyond blitzes out this bishop takes
takes
queen.
d5, yeah, and this is the
You
same
just
problem
miscount.
because the queen is still hanging, yeah. And now when all the dust has settled, black is the one up a bishop pair
Oh no.
even, trades down.
And mate's coming.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, right, one would have thought, I guess Bjorn was very excited because Bjorn thought, you know what, I'm down a piece, but I have two collected pass pawns. Could still
Oh, but it's
possibly be
mate in one.
winning. Yes, but it's a mate in one because of his very strong combination. Very nice finish.
And actually,
Good
Mel
game.
was very fast.
Yeah,
Two
2 minutes
minutes
on
left
the
for the whole
clock.
game.
Yeah, very
That's
nice
half the time.
finish.
Very nice.
Good showing from Mia. I encourage everyone to go to the links in the description to just click on this study. You can go to chapter 29 and 20, and 30 to look at some very smooth and cruising victories from Beyond. I know we have been highlighting Mir, but because of those very swingy and clutch games from them. But if you want to just, it doesn't mean that bad openings are good, okay? Don't get me wrong. If you take a look at the earlier games, Bjorn just manages to get a nice, comfortable opening and just cruises through all the way to the end. So feel free to check out those games as well to have a look at some more traditional chess games, I guess.
Mm.
And with that, we are done for round one. We are actually going to go to round two next week, which is the round of 16, and we'll be able to see the rest of the rest of the participants who managed to enter this next round. Because as we mentioned earlier into the stream, some of the players were seeded and had bye rounds, so we didn't see some of the stronger players in this stream
Oh,
today.
that's gonna be fun.
Next week onwards, we'll be starting to get some really strong um, players playing against each other. So look forward to that. And yeah, is there anything you want to say?
No, I
No.
don't think so. I'm
Right.
good.
If there is nothing else, then thank you everyone for watching. Um, come back next week, I guess, and all that jazz. Is Grakart karaoke still going on?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it is. So if any of you still have a lot of time, want to continue going on the Grakart community event train, feel free to jump into the Guardian cast. Uh, It's the first karaoke of 2022 in Gracot.
Who's singing?
No
I've never
idea.
actually attended a karaoke.
I've listened in before. But I haven't actually um,
Sang.
sang. Yeah, because my singing sucks. If any of you caught my singing while my Wi-Fi was down just now.
It's not that bad, honestly.
It depends. Anyhow, that's all. Thanks for watching. Come back next week. I'll see you guys next week. And